So you want to go to grad school abroad and you're considering applying to schools in the UK, in Canada, in the US, in Australia. That is great, but make sure you don't apply to these schools that I'm going to mention in today's video, because if you do, you're in big trouble. Hey my friend, what's up and welcome back to the channel. So today I'll share with you the types of schools you should stay away from. If you are still in the process of applying to schools and you're considering schools, please, these ones have red flags. Don't apply to schools that share these features or characteristics, or some of the things I'll share in today's video. Once you see one of these things I'll share in today's video, please stay away from those schools. All of that good stuff said, let us jump right into it. One, schools that don't qualify for post-graduation work permit. Listen, even if you don't want to stay in that country after you graduate, still, please don't apply to schools that do not qualify for post-graduation work permit, whether that's schools or specific programs. Once you see that they don't qualify, or once you graduate from those schools or that school, you will not qualify or you would not be eligible to apply for a post-graduation work permit, please run. And that is because as an international student, after you complete your education abroad, it's good to have that option to work at least for some time, maybe that 6 months or 3 months or 1 year. It's good to have that option so that you can work if you choose to. So please, if you are checking schools out and you notice that that school won't qualify for a post-graduation work permit in that country, run. Number two, schools that ask you to attach a bank statement as part of the application process. Listen, I have been in this, grad school application business for some time now, and I see stuff. Some schools actually ask students ask applicants as part of the application process to attach a bank statement that shows or that confirms that they have they are able to pay for their tuition and living expenses. Now, this is not, this is not harmful, but I'll tell you something. If a school tells you as part of the application process that you must submit a bank statement or some proof that you can pay the tuition and living expenses, I have seen 99 out of 100 times, 9.9 out of 10 times that those schools do not offer good funding. Run, my friend. If a school is asking you for bank statements or any kind of financial proof as part of the application, now you haven't gotten the admission, you haven't done all of, you're not at that point yet, but you're just applying, uploading your transcript, uploading your resume and stuff like that, and then they ask you for a bank statement, you need to run. That's it. You need to run. That is not the school for you, especially if you're hoping to get some funding from the school or you're hoping to get some scholarships. Those schools do not offer good funding. All right, that's it. That's all you need to know. Please stay away from those schools. So the third type of school you should run away from and not apply to, those are schools that have limited job opportunities. And when I say schools, I also mean programs. So the specific programs have limited job opportunities in that country. So basically, based off of the research you've done, you've noticed that a lot of people that graduate from that program, don't end up getting any jobs in the first 90 days, or they don't get jobs in the kind of industries you were hoping to get jobs. Please stay away from those schools. And that's why I always advise people, it is very good practice for you to ask the school for their job report if they have those. If they don't, many schools actually keep a job report. Whether they share it with you or not, that's another conversation. But many schools keep track of the 100 students that graduated from this program this year, how many of them got jobs within 90 days and where did they get jobs. A lot of schools track that. Whether they share it with you or not, that's something else, but you should at least ask. And if they don't share with you, go online. People talk, people say things on forums and stuff like that. So make sure you check. And once you find out that a school isn't very great with getting jobs, don't apply to those schools. That's just all I'll say. You notice that the program, not the school as a whole, but that program maybe for some reason, even if the academics is very great, but their graduates don't end up getting jobs or good jobs, please stay away. As an international student, you just want to make sure you're at an advantage. Basically, like, things are already not designed for you in a new country, so you want to make sure you're going to good programs, if that makes sense. Another type of school or type of program you should not apply to are programs that are very difficult to explain in a visa application or during a visa interview. So and I'll give you an example. If you are someone that did a BSc in maybe mechanical engineering in your home country, you did a master's in mechanical engineering in your home country, now you're going to the US or to Canada to do a BSc in nursing, or a bachelor's in nursing, or a first degree in nursing. That is very difficult to explain to a visa officer. I would love to tell you, go ahead, do it. People change careers every day. That is true. You can change careers, but these days I have noticed that it's become a lot more difficult for people to get visas. A friend of mine actually applied to Canada, got admission, and like, very straightforward. He was going for the same for a master's in the same field that he did his bachelor's, and he was denied 2 or 3 times. So basically Canada didn't give him a study permit. So you just want to make sure that it's not obvious that this person has no business going for this program. And this type of schools or the type of programs you should not apply to are those programs that are very difficult to explain to a visa officer, to a consular officer, or to explain in a visa application. There is no point going through all of this, applying to schools, paying application fees, struggling for scholarships, getting the scholarships, and now you don't have a visa. So just pay attention to that as you begin to shortlist schools. Make sure it makes sense. I know you get it. You're smart. You get what I'm saying. So that is another type of school you should try, or another type of program or school you should stay away from. Another type of school or program that you should stay away from is like schools that have extremely high acceptance rates. And I know you may not agree with me, and that is fine, okay? I understand if you don't agree with me on this one, but many times, usually schools that have these crazy high acceptance rates, they don't have the best support system and structure in place for you as an international student. Now, if you were a citizen of that country, I would say, do you whatever you like, but you are an international student, like, the odds are already not really in our favor as an international or as international students. So you want to make sure that you don't just go to any school because the acceptance rate is very high. What I've noticed is many of those schools don't have the best career development office that can really support international students. Usually they are smaller schools, and they are really trying to sort out students broadly, they are not really focused on international students. Ask anyone that has studied in some of these schools, they will tell you that you have to do a lot more hustling for you to break through, for you to get the kind of jobs that you want, for you to get the right connections in the industries that you want. So I would say if a school has 98% acceptance as an international student, except they're offering you so much scholarship, so much funding, then yes, of course, do it, because that is a great package. But if you're having to pay out of pocket or you're taking loans, I would say try hard to not go to schools that have very high acceptance rates. Usually their job reports and their the places where their students end up, it's just very hard for you to find international students that were truly supported while they were in school, and the school helps them to get a job, or the school connected them with alum. It's not easy for international students that end up in those schools. Ask anyone that's willing to tell you the truth about the experience. It's usually not that easy. Of course, it's not easy for any international student, but I'll say it's a little more difficult for people that go end up in such schools. So I would say stay away from those schools, or apply to a few, hoping they give you 100% funding, and then you're like, okay, of course I'll go, that kind of thing. So that's another type of school that you should stay away from. All right, if you've gotten to this point of the video and you haven't joined my email gang, you are missing a whole lot. All right, I'll wear my glasses so you get the point, okay? You need to join my email gang. I'm always sharing tips like this there. So the link is always in the description. Click the link and go join my email gang if you want to get like insider information about how to thrive abroad, how to you know, all the things you need to know as an international student going abroad to study. If you're interested in the US, Canada, UK, Australia, it's a whole community. Okay, so click the link in the description and go join. And yeah, if you are still applying to schools or you are in the process of applying to schools, I have a link in the description that has my list of 500 plus fully funded programs or programs with very great scholarships. I have that list in the description. I have the list in the description, guys. I'm hungry, I've not eaten, okay, and I'm tired. It's night here, but click the link in my description, get that list of 500 fully funded programs, so you from the get-go you apply to, you know, very good schools and you make your dream of studying abroad happen. Okay, so click all the links in the description. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and join the family. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.